Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to visual reviews. Now, this series has actually been pretty highly requested. I'm really sorry that I didn't carry on doing it after the first two episodes. I just got carried away with traveling to New York and making all of the other videos that I have been making at the moment. But I'm glad to say that the visual reviews are back, and I'm going to be doing this once a week, alternating between photos and videos, and also occasionally looking at a master of photography or video and analyzing what they do in their work. So in saying that, I'm going to jump into today's video. Today we're going to be looking at Instagram and the hashtag visual reviews. So if you're not following that on Instagram yet, or you're not using the hashtag visual reviews yet, please use it on your photos if you want to be featured in these videos as well and have your photos critiqued. In saying that, I do want to say please take these videos with a grain of salt. Obviously this is all just my opinion. I am not an expert on photography or video or anything like that. I'm just giving you my opinion and telling you what I like, what I don't like, and what I would change about the photos that I'm reviewing in this episode. Black and white portrait photography. I was looking through the hashtag visual reviews hashtag, and there weren't many black and white photographs, but this one and another one really caught my eye and got me thinking about the fact that not many people post in black and whites on Instagram, including myself. And black and white is a really beautiful medium, but for some reason it doesn't do too well on Instagram. I think people just love seeing color and seeing that vibrance on their feed. Otherwise it doesn't really stand out, but looking at it from an art form point of view, it is so beautiful. So the first portrait that we have today is one by Isaiah, and obviously you can see it's of a girl. But what I really love about this photo is the depth of field that he's captured in it. Obviously the main subject is perfectly in focus. She's looking down kind of in a candid moment and unaware of the photograph happening. I really love the bokeh piece that you have in the foreground. I'm not really sure what that is, but like I said, it just creates a nice depth of field as well as the background being out of focus as well. So really emphasizes the main subject. I also love the edit that you have going on this as well. The grain along with the contrast I think is just done absolutely perfectly. None of the highlights are blown out. The shadows as well are at a good level and the darks are just where they need to be. It's also got that slight bit of fade as well, which just adds to the film effect of it. So I think you've done a great job here. I think maybe one thing I would have done in the portrait shoot as well, and I'm not sure if you took more portraits after this, but if you just got her looking up at you and just capturing that moment of eye contact, I think that would have made the photo pop even more and made it even more special. Just that human connection with the subject is what I think makes portrait photos really powerful. Other than that, you've done an excellent job and I really like this photo. So sticking with the theme of portrait photos, the next one is a portrait by Matthew Perro, and this is of a girl looking through the blinds, but it's taken from the outside. And once again, I think the depth of field in this is really nice, and just capturing that bokeh in the foreground with the subject being in focus. And like I said, here we can see that her eyes are in focus, and that is the main important part of a portrait in my opinion. Just peeking out the window, we don't really know what she's looking at, and that kind of has a deep meaning in itself. You can analyze this as an artwork and not just as an Instagram picture. Looking at it from a more formal aesthetics point of view, I think one thing I would do is just bring up the contrast a bit more. I feel like it's a bit gray and faded out too much. I would just bring the blacks down, but that's all really. Other than that, the composition is fantastic. In terms of Instagram, I might have taken this in portrait rather, just because portrait photos work better on Instagram, or cropped it square. The horizontal doesn't work too well on Instagram, but again, that's just my opinion and looking at the statistics of what photos get likes on Instagram. Not that it's all about the likes, but we are talking about Instagram and engagement and reach and all that kind of stuff. But again, looking at it from an artistic point of view, it's an absolutely beautiful photo and I really love the way you've captured this moment. So just looking at portrait photography now, and like I said, specifically black and white portrait photography, I just wanted to go over a few examples and show you my friend Zeno Petersen. His username on Instagram is @Zenography, and he takes some of the most beautiful portraits in South Africa. He's definitely one of my favorite portrait photographers, and I just wanted to share his work with you guys as well. So just looking at a few of them, this is one of the first ones that caught my attention, with a girl once again just peeking through another object, another layer of the depth of field, and the window's got water drops on it, which adds to that visual interest of the photo. And once again, it's that eye contact with the camera, that human connection that the viewer can have with the subject. I think the fact that she's got her hands up as well against the window just adds to the photo. If she was just standing there without her hands, I don't think it would have been as powerful, but the fact that she has it there just adds to the composition and adds to the fact that she's like trying to get through this window and get to you as the viewer. Like I said with the other photos as well, the contrast is really well done and just adds to the edit and achieving that same mood and feel that comes across in the rainy day photo. And then just the last photo that we're going to be looking at today and analyzing is this photo of a girl looking over her shoulder back at the camera. Again, it's like she's turning her back, walking away, but looking back at the camera and giving that eye contact and human connection with the subject. So again, like I said, eye contact is so important when it comes to portrait photography. It doesn't always have to be there. You don't always need eye contact. Some photos, some of the best portraits in the world don't have any eye contact, but I think the ones that are the most special and are the most powerful do have eye contact. And when I think of portrait photography and the most powerful picture out there, I think of that portrait that was on the cover of National Geographic with the Arab girl with the orange cloth wrapped around her head. That was just so beautiful, and she had direct eye contact with the camera, just looking intensely at the viewer. And I think that's one thing that Zeno tries to capture in a lot of his pictures as well, is capture more than just a portrait, more than just a picture for Instagram. He wants to capture an emotion rather than a moment. Once again, the composition is absolutely beautiful, and he uses the portrait mode on this one, so just looks a lot bigger and a lot better on Instagram. You can see more of the photo and I see a lot more of the details. The exposure is just perfect as well, so everything is nice and exposed. You can see all the details, and he emphasizes that in this photo as well. Just one more thing for today's video, I just wanted to scroll through Zeno's feed and just talk a bit more about his style and the way of shooting. So when I scroll through his feed and see his portraits, I think one of the main things that stand out is the way he uses light in his portraits, the way he captures his composition and makes use of shadows more specifically. If we look at this one, for example, he always seems to capture shadows and light in a really interesting way and how it falls on the subject's face. So with this one, we have half of his face in the shadow and half of it in the light. Now that could have deeper meaning to the picture as well. I don't really know the meaning of that, but you could analyze that a bit further and gain a bit more of an emotional side to that. So we can see just from these 12 photos over here, one of the main themes in Zeno's work is that he really likes to use strong contrast, making use of light, and also using a lot of depth of field in his photos, as well as gaining that crucial eye contact with the subject that makes the photos so special. I think if you have to include those few things in your portrait photography, it'll make a world of difference and just add to the photos that you're already creating. So just to recap of that, it is make use of interesting light, use depth of field, have eye contact with your subject, and remember to make use of contrast. You don't have to make it extreme, but I think contrast does play a very important role. So there we go, that is just my quick video on black and white portrait photography. I hope this has helped you. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Visual Reviews. Like I said, if you want to be featured in Visual Reviews, if you want to have your photos seen to the world and you want me to kind of analyze them and just give you my opinion on them, like I said in the beginning as well, this is all just my opinion, so please don't leave all the hate comments in the comments below. Let's rather have a discussion, leave your opinions in the comments below, and that would really mean a lot to me, and I'm sure the creators of the photos as well. In saying that, I'm going to end today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did like it, please leave a like. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button for new tutorials, new vlogs, new adventure videos, new cinematic videos every single week. I will be posting very frequently. In the meantime, stay weird, don't die, and make it happen. I'll see you guys in the next one.